and welcome back to another Crafty Chat podcast, episode 20, I believe, which is crazy. It's just the last day in August. I'm going to be playing with my hair a lot. It's probably going to get on a lot of your nerves, but I'm sorry. I had a haircut, I had a lot lopped off. It's not an awful lot of pink left, and there's fringes in my face constantly. I suppose I could put my glasses on, then it wouldn't be in my face. 1 second. That's a bit better, a little less annoying. Oh, my glasses need a clean though, always the way. Anyway, hi, my name's Hannah. If you're new to the Crafty Chat podcast and the Corner of Craft as a whole, welcome. Hope you enjoy the podcast enough to stick around. It's a weekly podcast about mainly knitting, sometimes crochet, and then also beadwork, because I have an Etsy shop and I sell things. And if you're watching for the umpteenth time, thank you very much. Much appreciated. Although it's the last day of August, so it's still summer to me. It's really sunny outside, but I'm a bit chilly, so I've got my big fluffy slippers on, and I've got my exploration station keeping my shoulders warm. I quite like it. Quite like wearing it as a shawl as opposed to a scarf. I don't know why. But if you'd like to follow me on social media, you can find not only the links here, but also all of the links can be found in the description box below. So you can just go and click and it will take you to my profile if that's something you fancy. I mainly use Instagram the most, but I am also partial to a Snapchat and Twitter every now and then. And we also have a Ravelry group, which is where you will find all of the notes for the podcast, as well as any other things such as cows that are going on and giveaways that are happening and whatnot. And speaking of cows that are going on, this leads me very nicely into my next point. Today marks the first day of the vintage sweater cowl that I'm co-hosting with Meg from the Bad Wolf Girl Sits and Knits podcast. Although I'm not entirely sure where the finished objects thread will be, I will talk about that and let you know probably next week. I now have a chatter thread up in my Ravelry group. I know Meg has one too, so feel free to head on over there, get chatting about which kind of vintage style sweaters you're going to be knitting. I'm going to be knitting the Anouk cardigan. I think I'm going to be getting my yarn for it this weekend. I'm very excited. When we say vintage sweaters, I mean, I suppose it could cover a plethora of styles, but the ones that we really have in mind are kind of like the waist length ones, maybe with a 3/4 length sleeve, maybe with a full length sleeve. Think like Andy Satterland style. She has a lot of fantastic sweaters that would qualify for this. This is a 2-month cowl. It will go until Halloween, the 31st of October, which is perfect because everyone needs jumpers for going into winter. So I thought it would be good timing for this. And yeah, it's very exciting. No specific prizes as yet, but I'm sure that we will be picking some up along the way. So be sure to enter if you would like to be in with a chance of winning something. So very exciting, very exciting. Oh, I love this. I love it. It's so snuggly and warm. So with all that being said, I suppose we should go straight into finished things. And the first finished thing that I have, which is probably not a surprise to any of you, because I almost finished these last week, but it is my Volca socks. Oh, this one got a bit crumpled. This one got a bit crumpled. So this is the Volca sock. This is a test knit that I was doing for Becky Sorensen, aka Soprano Knits, aka hostess of the Stringing It Together podcast. Oh, it's so bobbly, it's so nice, I love it. So this pattern actually comes out tomorrow, so that's really exciting. Also, as you may have heard, we do have a kit, and I say we because I'm part of the kit. So the yarn that I used is by Once Upon a Corgi. It's on her Isaac base, which is 100% Polworth. It is the something sinister colour for the main part, and then dark like my soul for the heels, cuffs and toes. And the heel that the pattern uses is the new Depths heel, which Becky has rejigged a little bit. And also if you buy the sock pattern, you will get the heel pattern with it. So that's super exciting. So these kits will be going on sale tomorrow in Gabby's shop, which is onceuponacorgi.com, at 10 AM EST, which, if my calculations are correct, is 3 PM London time, which will be 4 PM Berlin time and Paris time and etc. So it's quite an international friendly time, I feel. Unless you're in Australia, then it's probably not that friendly for you. But apologies. There are, as I said, so you get, there are 4 different kits, 2 different main colours, 3 different heels, toes and cuffs colours. You get a 25-gram mini with a 100-gram ball of yarn, and I had this much left of the mini, which I think is 5 grams, and I have this much left even after my swatch of my 100-gram ball. So that's pretty good going, no complaints. It's a 1x1 twisted rib. I did German twisted cast on. I used my higher sharps to knit these. I used both 2.25 and 2mm needles because the pattern is quite loose. I don't know how else to describe it, but it's such a satisfying texture. I'm really looking forward to wearing these, and we'll definitely be knitting more of these. It's a really easy stitch to do as well. When you read the pattern, it can look a bit intimidating, but Becky has a fantastic video tutorial to go along with it, which clearly describes and explains how to do the stitch, and she's just fantastic. So along with the yarn in the kits, you obviously get a code so you can download the pattern, and you also get a really cute little cloud stitch marker, because for those who don't know, I bead stitch markers, obviously, as I have said. I don't know if I have actually, but you get a little cloud stitch marker, depending on what your heels, toes and cuffs colour is, depends on what colour the cloud is, I think, I'm pretty sure. So you either get a white cloud with a silver outline, or you get a light grey cloud with a dark grey outline. Both are super cute. And so yes, if you want to be in with a chance of snagging one of those, be sure to set your alarm for tomorrow at 3 PM London time, 10 AM EST. Volker socks means cloud in German. Oh, my voice. Hence the cloud stitch markers. Yeah? Yeah? Yeah. Oh, I got normal tea this week. After the catastrophe of last week's tea, where I didn't finish it, I have normal tea, but I think I just made it. So it's a bit warm. So I have a couple more finished things. So my cousin is having a baby. She is due very close to Christmas, so I thought I should knit some baby hats. So I did, and they're really cute. So this is the Super Stretchy Baby Hat by Julia Tarsha, and it is pretty stretchy because babies' heads grow. I'm using scraps of yarn I have left over from other projects. So I have done on this one, this is yarn is all by Truly Hooked. The cuff is silver grey, and then the top is Unikitty, which I bought in February and then knit myself some Mercury socks out of. So then I used some for this. This is a fantastic base, but I had done the ribbing before realising that it's not superwash, so not ideal. And I actually knit my luxurious cashmere socks out of these. Can you see? Can you see? See? I haven't yet made it into my sock drawer because apparently I'm super disorganised. But it's fantastic. It's merino cashmere nylon. and it's really soft and just nice. And although it's a slightly more masculine colour, I suppose one could say, I've made myself a pair of socks out of it, so zero complaints. And I suppose this kind of transitions me into whips, because I have one on the go, and I definitely could have finished it, but just didn't finish it. And I'm not entirely sure why, but I'm on the decreases, so I'm very close to finishing it. And I did the decreases on Sunday, so even closer to finishing it. And this is my hand-dyed yarn that I knit my angel face turban out of, that I finished last week, and I had some left, so I thought I'd make a little baby hat out of it. It's kind of blues with darker blues and black speckles, and I'm on the decreases. And I got my cute little panda stitch marker that I stole from my shop. As in, I stole from my shop, so it's allowed. I didn't steal from a shop, because that's not allowed. Apparently the secret for these being stretchy is you knit them on quite a large size needle. So this is a 3.25mm needle, I believe. Yes, it is. And I knit it in the round on magic loop, because that's easiest. And yeah, it's a super easy hat to do. It's a free pattern on Ravelry, knits up pretty quickly. I knit that grey one in the car journey down to my parents this past weekend, so that was a 4-hour journey I completed this hat. So, and it's got a really cute little knot on the top, which is very sweet. But obviously, if you didn't want to include that, you don't have to. So now we're into whips, and I'm just gonna hoik my shawl up on my shoulders. I did a bit more work on my Cozy Memories blanket this past weekend. Of course, I'm partway through a square, so I'm super good at this podcasting malarkey. I'll tell you why I was partway through a square, because I was doing it and then thought, no, I should be beading, so beaded instead. I'm being very good. I'll try not to show it every week, but just put a couple more squares on. Currently knitting a green one on, so that's very exciting. But I will probably be doing some more work on this at some point soon. But yeah, just my standard Cozy Memories blanket. That's probably the last time you'll see it for a couple of weeks. Because like I said, I don't want to show it every week because it doesn't progress that much. And I don't want you all to get sick of seeing it. But that is a pattern by Kemper Ray of Junk Yarn and the Junk Yarn podcast, I believe. And then yesterday, this is why I haven't been casting on many things, because yesterday I spent the best part of half an hour to 40 minutes hand winding this ball of yarn, which is a very nicely wound ball of yarn, but took a really long time because I don't have a ball winder here. But it's my birthday in just over 2 weeks, sorry. So I have asked Mario one for my birthday, so fingers crossed I get one, but we shall see. But I have cast on and started knitting the We Were Seeds shawl, and I stopped knitting it yesterday, even though I could have kept going, because this edge is curling in, and I don't know if it's because I'm knitting every row. I don't know whether I should frog it and start again, but instead of knitting, slipping that stitch on that side. I don't know if that would stop it rolling, so I thought I'd come on here and ask if anyone knows. This is a pattern by Cassandra Rizandi, I believe that's what I have written. And it's beautiful. This is just the first section, kind of like a seed stitch. And this yarn is varying shades of teal and green. This is yarn that Mario gave me for Christmas. It is a 4-ply yarn, fingering weight, to those of you not in the UK. And it is the Kettle Yarn Company on the Islington base, which is Blueface, Leicester and Silk, I believe. And it is in the colour Siren Call, and it's in many shades of teal, and then a slightly greenier shade of teal and a bluier shade of teal, and it's just very nice. And I'd been waiting for the perfect shawl to knit with this. Yep, I said it right second time. And then I saw this shawl pattern had been released, and I've been meaning to cast it on for a while. and I just hadn't. So this is just the first section. I'm very excited. But yeah, do you think blocking will stop this? I don't have blocking wires either, so I'd have to pin it, and I don't want to have to make it super uneven when I pin it, but that might help. But I don't know if just unpicking it and slipping that stitch would make it better. Anybody with more knitting experience than me, if they'd like to help me out on that, that would be muchly appreciated before I get too much further and then feel really sad. But this is really nice yarn to knit with. It's very soft. It's very nice. And yeah, that is all my whips at the minute, which makes me very sad. But I will be casting on the Anouk cardigan by Andy Satterland imminently for the knit along I'm co-hosting, and hopefully as and when I get my yarn winder I will be able to knit even more things, because I have this stash and more is going to be added to it very soon, so we need to burn through some of it. And if I have to spend half an hour winding it every time, my goodness. I missed most of Celebrity MasterChef we were catching up on. It was very disappointing. But it's partly Maria's fault and my fault. My fault for using 2 chairs instead of Maria's hands. And Maria's fault for playing a video game. So I couldn't use his hands to hold the yarn. But I do have sock plans. I either am going to wind up my Edinburgh Yarn Festival yarn and knit that into just a pair of maybe Hermione's everyday socks or just vanilla. And I also have this yarn that I got from Germany before I moved. It was Sonderpreis, it was reduced, it was in the sale, and it's just this fantastic tweedy yarn. And recently the Midas socks came out, and that is a free pattern. Oh, it was a free pattern I think for a short time when it first came out, and I managed to snag it because I'm cheeky. So I intend on knitting the cabled sock, and I intend on knitting those with this yarn. So that is very exciting. So maybe that's my next sock cast on. Or maybe I do both, because you need both a vanilla and an exciting sock at the same time. Oh, choices. So I've written in my notes that I don't have any stash fattening to show, but actually that's a lie. So we went to, my sister and I went down to my parents at the weekend because it was a bank holiday weekend, and my parents were having a big family barbecue for my grandma's 89th birthday. So we decided to go down and see them, and then went to Rowland's Castle, which is just outside of Havant near Portsmouth, and it's not a castle, it's a village, town, difficult to explain. I don't know why it's called Rowland's Castle, always confused me. But they have a fantastic yarn shop there, which I've forgotten the name of, but I may have had some skeins of yarn bought for me for my birthday by my parents, so thanks very much. Oh, and my grandma. But I decided to leave them with my parents so they could be wrapped up as birthday presents and then given to me at a later date. So my parents coming to visit me on my birthday, so I could be given them then, so I can forget what they look like and then get really excited about it again. Because this yarn shop was fantastic. I love a yarn shop. But they had featured yarn dyers and like indie dyers, and then they also had more indie dyers in the back. It was a huge shop, it was amazing. I saw some skeins of yarn by people that I've been following on Instagram for ages, and I didn't buy them purely because I know they're going to be at the Nottingham Yarn Expo, but it was nice to see the yarn in person, because very often with things, and I know this is true for a lot of yarn that I've got, but also for the stitch markers that I make, they look much better in person than they photograph. So it was nice to see them in person. But my mum did get me these before Christmas actually, and I left them there at my mum and dad's because these are in the sale at her local craft shop, and one of them got a bit bashed up on the way back, so that's annoying. So these mum got in the sale. So these are the Regia Perfect and that they're the ones where they're kind of, you get a matching pair out of them, because you start just after the yellow and then you wind on, and then you knit the whole thing, and then you wind on to where the next yellow is, and then you knit that. So I've got these are going to be Mario socks, because, you know, quite a normal colour. I've not knit my pair of socks in a while, so maybe I'll cast these on. And funnily enough, my mum also knit my dad a pair of socks that match that, so Mario and my dad are going to have matching socks. And then mum got me these ones, because these are called Cheesecake, I believe this colourway is called, but it's not on here, but I've looked it up before. And while the outside colour looks incredibly boring, the leg is really exciting. So the leg is all stripy and then the foot is brown, which, you know, I'm not overly thrilled about the fact that the foot is brown, but it's okay. Ist genial, einfach. Gelben Farben abtreten und losstricken. So that's good. It's an easy way to get matching socks if that is something that you worry about. Although, saying that, I got matching socks from one ball of the last yarn I knit with, but that's just me. Nothing too exciting with stash fattening. Nothing too exciting overall, actually. Still thinking that I'm going to be turning the yarn that I've got for my hoodie shawl cardigan that I was going to knit, that I've now decided I'm not going to knit. I think I'm going to turn it into a Mild Magic shawl. Kristen of Yarngasm and Lara of Jinx Yarns are hosting a Mild Magic cal, and I really want to knit it. But the problem with it is they're going to be very similar colours to this. A bit more blue, I suppose. But that's okay, isn't it? Yeah, that's fine. So that's all for the knitting, I'm afraid. So the problem with doing weekly podcasts is they're going to be shorter, but that's okay, because some people like a shorter podcast. And when I have more to talk about, I'll be able to talk about more. So I'm just going to be talking about life stuff on my Etsy update. So if that interests you, thanks for sticking around. And if not, I'll see you next week. So I don't know if you can hear my tummy rumbling, but I haven't eaten yet today, and it is 1:10. So this bitch probably won't be too long. I have an Etsy update tomorrow. Last week was incredible on my Etsy shop, to the point where I may have cried a small amount with happiness. I understand that not every week is going to be as fantastic as last week, but if it's even remotely as fantastic as last week, I don't actually need to look for a normal job, and I can live off this. So that's incredible. Thank you everyone so much, because the job hunt has not been fruitful. Even though I keep applying, nobody wants to hire me. We have an Etsy update tomorrow, Friday the 1st of September at 2 p.m. At the moment I have 30 charms made. I fully intend on making some more this afternoon after this is edited and is uploading. So we have some koalas going in. Ooh, ooh. These koalas are super cute, I love them. We have some more white chickens going in, because they're going fantastically at the minute. We have some more black chickens going in. Oh, that's out of shot. My camera's now flashing low battery, so maybe you won't get much live stuff today. You got little pumpkin ghosts, because Halloween is fast approaching. You got some ladybirds. You got some teeny tiny pumpkins, because these also went very well last week, and also because Halloween and everyone loves pumpkins. Little autumnal acorn for you all. We have a fox. fox. I found it very amusing when people were ordering foxes and chickens. Felt a bit bad putting them on the same card and posting them in like in the same bag, because you know, foxes and chickens are hardly the bestest of friends. Got some little bumblebees. And then some more flower crown sloths, because you all love the flower crown sloths. And this afternoon I fully intend on beading some more unicorns, because I've not had any in the shop for a while, so I thought time to get my unicorn on, and then whatever else I fancy making, really. But that's all I have made at the moment. I have 3 of each made, so yes. If you buy some and then you find that other ones that you want aren't in stock, let me know and I can fix that for you. Yeah, update on Friday. They will be shipped on Monday. It's pretty much how it goes, so give you the weekend to peruse. Yeah, don't have a whole lot of life stuff to share with you because I've kind of already shared it. Went down to the south last weekend, went down to Sussex, which is where my parents live, and just spent the weekend there. We went down Friday night and came back Monday during the day. And it was a really lovely weekend. The weather was absolutely fantastic, which can very rarely be said for a bank holiday. And because I'm British, I have to talk about the weather. But yes, it was really lovely. It was lovely to see everyone, see all my family again. I don't think I have, and I got a haircut. Most of the pink has been cut out my hair, which is a little bit sad, but I need to re-dye it anyway. I don't really have an awful lot to share that's coming up either. Playing Dungeons and Dragons for the first time in a long time on Saturday, so that is very exciting as well. Had a really nice day with Mario on Tuesday. We just like chilled out and hung out because he had a day off, and yeah, it was all very good fun. Very conscious of the battery icon flashing at me, so I'm probably just gonna go. Thank you everyone for watching. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. It really helps out my channel and my videos being seen. Social media can be found here. Feel free to follow me on there. Don't forget tomorrow, Volca stock update at onceuponacorgi.com. Link can be found both in the description box and also in the podcast notes. Yeah, I think that's everything. Don't forget to subscribe for weekly podcasts and have fun knitting all your vintage style sweaters. I can't wait to hear what you're working on. But yes, with all that being said, thank you very much for watching. Sorry this was a short one, and I shall see you next week in my next video. Bye!